Welcome back guys to another video. So today we're going to talk all about adverbs of quantity, saying how much of something we have. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so to practice this we're going to talk about wine and bananas, something uncountable and something countable. So let's start at the beginning. If we have 0 wine and 0 bananas, we say just not any. I don't have any wine, I don't have any bananas. Or you could say I have no bananas or I have no wine, but that does not sound as nice. It always sounds nicer to use a not any structure. So the not goes in the verb. I don't have any bananas, I don't have any wine. Now, if we have a little bit more than nothing, like almost nothing, we say hardly any. For example, I have hardly any wine, or I have hardly any bananas. So you can see it's the same for uncountable and countable. What's important about this, guys, is the word hardly, which in Czech is stěží or sotva, is already a negative word. So we do not say, I don't have hardly any wine. Because hardly is already negative, we just say, I have hardly any wine, I have hardly any bananas. Alright guys, now let's go up a little bit. We have a little bit more. For wine, we will now say, I don't have much wine. So for uncountable things, we say not much. I don't have much wine. For bananas, we will say, I don't have many bananas. So not much for something uncountable and not many for something countable. Alright, so let's go up a little bit more. Now we can say I have a bit of wine and I have a few bananas. So for uncountable things, we say a bit of. I have a bit of wine, I have a bit of time, I have a bit of advice, and it's like this much. And for bananas, we say I have a few bananas. So we use a few for countable things. Now, just to be very clear with you, we do have lots of variations of these things. With a bit of, we can make it sound a little bit less by saying a little bit. I have a little bit of wine. I have a bit of wine. And we can make it sound more by saying quite a bit. I have quite a bit of wine. So we actually have 3 levels with a bit, and quite a bit. And over with the bananas, we can say I have a few bananas, and that sounds like 3, 4, 5 maybe. Or we can say I have a couple of bananas. A couple of, it sounds a little bit less than a few. So I usually tell my students that a couple of is 2 or 3, maybe 4, and a few is 3, 4, maybe 5. Just very similar, but a few is a little bit more than a couple of. Alright, now let's go up again. If I want to say I have hodně banánů, hodně vína, then we would say lots of. I have lots of wine, I have lots of bananas. So this works the same for uncountable and countable, lots of. Or we can say I have a lot of, and that sounds a little bit more formal. So I have lots of bananas, a bit less formal. I have a lot of bananas, a little bit more formal. And a little pro tip here, guys. Lots of Czech people use much and many for positive things, saying I have many bananas, or I have much time, I have much wine, and that sounds really weird. So don't do that. Only use much and many in the negative sentences. I don't have many bananas, I don't have much wine. For the positive sentences, just use lots of or a lot of. I have a lot of wine, I have lots of bananas. And just another little pro tip, guys. If you want to say spousta and sound a bit more colloquial, we can say a bunch of. We have many ways to say spousta in English, but a bunch of is really common, and you can use it for countable and uncountable. So we could say, I have a bunch of bananas, or I have a bunch of wine. We can use it for countable and uncountable things. It's really often used by native speakers. Another version of spousta would be loads of. I have loads of things to do today. I have loads of wine. I have loads of bananas. Just one more spousta could be tons of. Oh my god, I have tons of things to do today. I drank tons of wine last night. But if you had to choose just one of these sposta options, I would use a bunch of. It's a really nice option. Alright guys, now let's go up even more. Now we're going above the level that is good, or above the level that is safe. And for this we use too. We can say too much or too many. So I ate too many bananas, countable. Or I drank too much wine, uncountable. Now remember, very important guys, whenever you use too, it always means it's not a good thing. You've gone above the safe level or above the good level. So if you say, oh my god, I ate too much chocolate last night, that means that it's a bad thing, that you ate more than the safe amount of chocolate and now you feel sick. If you just want to emphasize, like tolik, jedl jsem tolik čokoládu, we can say so much. I ate so much chocolate last night. I drank so much wine. That's just emphasizing without it feeling like a bad thing. When you say too much or too many, it means it's bad. You went over the safe limit. Alright guys, so I really hope that all made sense. I know it's quite a lot to remember, but luckily we don't have to remember anything because we have this for you in our beautiful leaflet. Maybe you can see the topic right there, hopefully if it's focusing. So we have everything on here in a nice little overview. So every video that we're doing here has its own little box on the leaflet. So you don't have to remember, you can just print out the leaflet or buy the leaflet and you can see everything that you need when you're trying to speak. Remember guys, you can also check out our podcast if you'd like some advanced listening practice, and you can also take the quiz for this topic. All of that stuff is in the description box, so just check out everything there. Thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.